Back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and as promised, a little bit of skinner and gesels is coming your way, and we're not doing it alone. Myself and G-Man brought in the best and the very finest. Celest,
Thank you so
much. Entertainment high five.
This one for you, this one for you. Here we go.
Are we good?
We're lekker. Happy to be the rose amongst the thorns.
What do
thank
you
you for
mean?
saying that.
Come on.
We do require that. No, we do often need a more balanced voice when talking about entertainment news.
Right.
Because these are real people's lives. And as much as they're celebs, some real stuff is going down.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into it. And maybe this is all warm, light and fluffy, or maybe this is the most important story of your day. But Gigi Hadid turns 30. It's quite a milestone for quite a dominant figure in fashion. And of course, she had to have an incredible party in the Big Apple to celebrate. So she was surrounded by, a star-studded circle of family and friends. They're pretty much all celebrities. Obviously, her sister, Bella Hadid, who is kind of a phenom in her own right, fellow model, Anok Yai, fashion designer, Tan France, actress Anne Hathaway. I didn't know they were mates, along with her husband. And they were all photographed arriving at the bash, looking as you would expect they would. And of course, Gigi and her partner, Bradley Cooper, walked hand in hand as they headed into the party. The model also rocking a ring on her ring finger.
Now there's rumours. Are they engaged? Are they not?
Well, I mean, are you allowed to wear a ring on your ring finger if it's not?
I don't know, Graham. I don't know. No, I don't know if they're engaged, but they can't do that and not tell us anything.
Surely, I mean, this is just maybe them having a little bit of fun with it because they know people are going to look.
You know what you're asking for.
Would you have fun with pretending that you're engaged?
This is maybe they're wanting to look for outfit, but they know they're going to get some heat from it. They know they're going to have to ask questions, and they know the people are going to be asking and asking. So I don't know what the plan is here.
The plan is now they're staying in the news for the next couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's smart.
And all that actually happened was she turned 30. She turned a frown upside down and turned it into this wonderful moment. But she's got some really cool friends, so I hope they have an awesome bash. And we are here for love and engagement, my friends. So we want another engagement ring. Please, can men wear engagement rings as well?
I got nothing to show for it, guys. I'm just sitting here like another day.
Get a tattoo around your finger.
I'm telling you, just some diamantes in the top knot, boy. We are there for that. Now, this story, we've got to temper our emotions just a little bit because it is a very emotional one. Tina Knowles opening up about her own health journey. Now, she's, of course, mother to superstar Beyonce, also a highly successful entrepreneur in her own right, a fashion designer, and most notably a philanthropist who pours a lot back. Now author of what sounds like a fascinating memoir about her journey to become the global figure that she is today. And in this book, it's titled Matriarch, a memoir. I like the sound of it. Released on the 22nd of this month, in fact, she revealed that she was previously diagnosed with breast cancer. And she said that she learned of her diagnosis at a mammogram appointment that had been put off for years.
If anything, this highlights the importance of going for your checkups, right?
Listen to the voice.
Listen to the voice.
Do it.
Because what if she put it off for another 6 months, another year?
Absolutely.
And we live in an age where breast cancer in particular, and every oncologist, every expert that we speak to, early detection is the key. And we can beat it. It can be beaten. And of course, Beyonce stepped in and set up an interview with the best oncologist in the country. And she has come through that journey, but with a lot of support from family. And in fact, she moved in with Beyonce to be looked after. But we go on about these stories so much because I think it's vital that those who first haven't been screened or gone for a mammogram and put it off because of the fear of finding out. That's the biggest barrier. But how important is it for people in their space to be vulnerable like that?
So important, because these are the conversations. I don't think we have these conversations enough with our parents, with our mothers, with our grandmothers. We don't have these conversations enough, with our sisters. And we should. And also, Beyonce's mother, or Tina, said to Beyonce, or to us at least, to the public, that she didn't tell Beyonce immediately, right? She was afraid to tell Beyonce immediately. She waited till the very next day to tell her because she was afraid.
She didn't want her to she didn't sleep.
She didn't want to tell her at night, afraid that Beyonce wouldn't sleep, and waited till the next day. And it's so, so beautiful because I think mothers, regardless of what they go through, they put their children first.
Mother first,
So selfless.
There will be a mother before anything else. She was on Oprah, obviously, and that's where I think they got into a lot of the darker side, but the resilience and how much the support of her family helped her through that space. But if you want to plug into that incredible journey and get those words of wisdom and a first-hand account, of course, you can buy her book, Matriarch, a memoir. I absolutely love the sound of that. Not so much our story that we're rounding off on now, but it's got massive traction, obviously in the US and starting to creep across the world. Let's talk about Shannon Sharpe. He is now stepping away from broadcasting amid a $50 million lawsuit. So Pro Football Hall of Famer, in fact, massive media personality Shannon Sharpe, he is now facing a lawsuit and being accused of sexual assault and battery. Now, the plaintiff, and in this case, she is listed as just Jane Doe, obviously to protect her, and I'm sure her name must be out there, but we'll pay her that respect. And she said that she was in a relationship with Sharpe for nearly 2 years, and it began as, and quote, a rocky consensual relationship. And the woman who is now seeking $50 million in damages said that she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym back in 2023 when she was only 19, and alleges in that lawsuit that Sharpe, who is currently 56 years old, obviously abused her over that time. He's a 3-time Super Bowl winning tight end. He is massive in the US. He's got his own successful podcast. I think it's called Club Shay Shay. He has a massive footprint there, makes regular appearances on ESPN's First Take. And he has now come out saying that he is taking a step back because of this. You don't want to immediately jump on any sort of headline when something like this is happening, but it makes me think, if this is how long it's taken her to come out, and yes, we know there is massive amounts of money involved in something like this, but how many women don't take that when faced against a partner that can overpower them in some way or another, don't take that step?
Not only is he super famous, right, and that's already intimidating, but there's also a huge age gap, right? 37 years apart, and that's also intimidating on top of that. She's 19, he's 50-something. 56, so it's nerve-wracking. I can imagine. Is it the truth? I don't know, right? We'll have to say, this plays out in court either way. But it's nerve-wracking to go up against someone of the magnitude that is Shannon Sharpe. And it also leads me to wonder, did he step away or was he asked to step away?
Yeah, no, I would imagine in America, he would have been asked very swiftly to step away, and there would have been PR teams trying to mitigate, and I think that's the danger. Once it gets handed over to a company that is paid millions of dollars to turn the tide, we've seen what's been happening. It's
just so disappointing, man, for a guy in this industry, always looking to see what gents we can look up to as men. We're running out here, G, man. Like, but seriously, guys, like every man I look up to, he's always doing something silly. He's catching on nonsense here. I'm like, guys, come on, what's the deal here? We're supposed to be standing up for gents in general. But
that being said, I watched an episode of Big Brother in the UK with Mickey Rourke, had a disgusting 90s comment, kicked off the show, straight off.
Really? Against Jojo Siwa.
Kicked off the show.
I love it. I love it.
Draw a line in the sand, and I will say it's always darkest before the dawn, my friend. Maybe a revolution, a social revolution is coming. But we're not looking that far ahead. This weekend, it is all going down. And of course, Mbombela is going to be the place to be. And Zanele will be there, I have no doubt.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are loving the entertainment connection this morning. Celeste is still with us, and we're going to continue to look into the international news with a bit of a South African connection right now. Mzansi always listens when there's any kind of news about Minnie Dlamini. She's a good mate of mine, an industry kind of mate, and we've kind of grown up together. So I've got all the time in the world, and I will back her up. But she is always in the news. And of course, Minnie drama continues. Much love. South African media personality Minnie Dlamini had been, I think, getting a lot of people speculating as for the reason for her recent split with her former partner and well-known celebrity and plastic surgeon, Dr. Brian Noyanisa. Now, the host of the podcast and Chill Mac, she came under a bit of fire. He shared his guesses as to why Minnie Dlamini, and we're probably going to be doing exactly the same thing here, as to why the breakup actually happened, and that Minnie had a body odor issue. Now, come on, dude. Although Dlamini has not responded to the body-shaming criticism, her ex, Brian, actually did, stating that Mac and his co-host, Sol, have really shown us that they have a problem with, I think, successful women in that space, calling them rats and cowards, in fact.
I can't even roll my eyes hard enough, Graham. Let me tell you right now.
Beyond a jab, even.
It's
like,
beyond a jab. If you're famous and
like,
you break up, people are going to speculate.
Absolutely.
That's just the nature of the game, right? But to say that you might have had a fall out of Mac G, seriously.
Can you be can you be cheeky? And because like we're all for the devil's advocate on this show because we can. We're light and fluffy and funny, and we can go there. And often we take a little bit of license where maybe we shouldn't. In a podcast, you've got all the license.
Oh yeah.
And coming from radio, I mean, you've got a lot more license than we have, but not as much as a podcast space. And maybe we've reached a point now where it's not okay to just have a platform and think you can say what you can say.
Of course. I must consider the fact that I sometimes go, is this his true opinion or is he trying to be a shock jock? Like, really, because your name is in the news far too often for saying the most outlandish kind of things. Right?
I feel you.
I got to take my hat off to Dr. Brian, though. They've broken up, so you kind of think people might not be in a good space, but he came to a defense saying, that's not okay. Don't say that, right? Which I think is so cool.
And also, he made it a principled thing. He didn't make it a personal thing. He showed his intelligence and his class by not making it a personal attack or whatever. Okay, albeit he did call them rats, but he's earned the right to be able to call them rats, and he's still got her back, and that's cool, man.
I was talking about this earlier about gents that we can look up to. This is not disappointing. This is what I feel a man should be doing in these spaces. Doesn't matter what the relationship was, but it's something you can still respect. You can still show maturity. You can still be a man about it, and that for me is being a real man and not throwing anything into the pot of conspiracy and chaos.
Manifestation station. You asked for a good example of a good man and you got it.
Come on now.
Minnie, I love you, girl, and you can stand by my side any day of the year. You just make us all shine. She's just incredible.
Absolutely.
And now let's chat about DJ Sabu. He is under fire right now. Oh, I'm loving the guffaw coming out of here. Obviously a very well-known media personality. He made headlines once again, this time maybe not for the right reasons. In an interview with controversial podcast host Mag G, the entrepreneur revealed that he had been scamming celebrities in South Africa for many years. He admitted to buying counterfeit clothes from Bangkok and then selling them at a much higher price to celebrities. And this has obviously left fellow South Africans, I think, a little torn between whether they can trust him and his businesses and his business practices, considering the recent launch of an online eatery and well-known energy drink brand. Now, DJ Sabu and he's not a good mate in the industry. I know him and I've respected a lot of what he has done. I've also been connected to other things during the World Cup that didn't give me a very comfortable feeling in that sense. So I feel like I'm going to play a neutral card here because I'm not a podcast host.
What kind of marketing is this, man?
This is a twofold problem. One, why would you do this? We can't trust anything that you do from this point. Two, why would you go on a podcast with Mag G admitting to the fact, right?
I don't know what the angle is.
Has he spoken to the people in question who he duped and he's been like,
but they all know.
It is crazy. So what do we do then? What in this sort of situation, do we go back and do we send an investigative journalist to go and do a deep dive into all of the business dealings?
And you return your items. If I bought anything, I would be returning it right now. Would you not be returning your item you bought?
Because a business principle, just like a sales principle, and I'm surrounded by some of the best salesmen in the world. I'm lucky to have mates who are next level in that space. They don't change their spots.
No, they don't.
Unfortunately, but I'm painting a particular brush and I'm being a bit cheeky because this is entertainment news.
Why would you be a car salesman, sell cars to your mates, and then after the fact tell people, hey, I sold defective cars to my mates, and they're driving on the road right now. What are you expecting other than like
business closed right there?
Like, I want to return my defective goods. Like, bro, this is a mad strategy. I don't know how this is going to end up.
When are you selling these shirts? Is that like, or not shirts, whatever you were selling, is that what you're supposed to divulge? Are you supposed to say, hey, I bought, like, are you supposed to say where you bought it?
Hey, listen, China has just come out to say that everything is a counterfeit from China, so maybe let's give them a little bit of leeway. Man, things are getting a little bit too spicy down here. Next minute, one of our friends is going to walk through the door. Let's hand over to our other non-controversial friend, Zanele. Please keep it on the line.